Good morning. Welcome to Unit 4 of Learning the Course Computer Organization and Architecture. In our previous units, we learned various things related to computer organization and architecture. In the first unit, we learned the basic concepts related to computer organization and architecture. In the second unit, we learned about various micro operations. And in the third unit, we discussed various instructions, various types of instructions and instruction cycle. What are the various micro operations that are present in the execution of those instructions. In this unit, in the fourth unit, we are going to discuss about memory organization. The main objectives of Unit 4 are to learn various types of memories, to understand address mapping in various memory organizations, and to understand interfacing semiconductor memory with 8086. The main outcomes of this unit are, by following this unit, the student will be able to achieve the outcomes where he can know various types of memories in digital computers, and the students are able to understand address mapping in various memory organizations such as cache memory, virtual memory, etc. and to understand interfacing of semiconductor memory with 8086. That is how memory interfacing is done, RAM interfacing and ROM interfacing is done in 8086. Coming to the syllabus of this unit can be covered in 6 sessions. In the first session, we are going to explain about memory hierarchy. In the second session, we are going to discuss about main memory. In the third session, we are going to discuss about associative memory. In the fourth session, we are going to discuss about cache memory. In the fifth session, we are going to discuss about virtual memory. As a case study, in the sixth session, we are going to discuss interfacing semiconductor memory with 8086. Welcome to session 1 of Unit 4 in learning the course Computer Organization and Architecture. In this session, we are going to discuss about memory hierarchy. The main objectives of this session are to know various types of memory and to understand the hierarchy of all those memory types. Coming to the outcomes of this session, by following this session, the student will be able to understand various types of memory in digital computers and able to understand their hierarchy in terms of various factors such as cost, speed, etc. So first of all, before going to know the different types of memories and their hierarchy, first we need to know what is a memory unit, what is the purpose of memory unit. The memory unit is an essential component in any digital computer since it is needed for storing programs and data. Now here, by using your system, you are going to process the programs, you are going to execute the programs. While in the execution of programs, you are taking some input data. So here, we need to store, for executing those programs and for using the data, we need to store these programs and data in your system. For storing those programs and data in our digital computers, we are using a component called as memory unit. Now, a very small computer with a limited application may be able to fulfill its intended task without the need of additional storage capacity. So that is, suppose for example, if you are talking about the calculator. So no need of external memory for calculator. It is intended for limited applications. Here, if you are taking a small calculator, a basic calculator that can perform all arithmetic operations. So for performing all those arithmetic operations, no need of additional memory. It cannot do other than that arithmetic operations. If you are taking some advanced calculator, it can do some trigonometric functions, some logarithmic functions, some exponential functions, etc. So its capacity is limited to those functions only. Other than those, it cannot do anything. It cannot do word processing, it cannot do presentations, it cannot do video processing, it cannot do audio processing. All those things cannot be, we cannot do browsing. So we cannot do all those things by using even it is the advanced calculator. So their applications are limited. So there is no need of any additional memory. But if you are taking your system, you are going to do all these things. You are going to do the calculations of arithmetic operations, you are going to perform logical operations, you are going to do word processing, you are going to do video processing. So you can play the videos, you can play the audios, you can record something, and you can browse something. So you can use various, you can use internet. So for browsing various things. So all these things should be done in our system. So for performing all these activities efficiently, it needs an additional storage capacity. Now let us see, most general purpose computers would run more efficiently if they were equipped with additional storage beyond the capacity of main memory. So here your system contains a main memory. So with only the main memory, we cannot do the additional applications, we cannot process additional applications efficiently. So we need, in addition to main memory, we need some additional storage, right? So in the computer system design, memory hierarchy is an enhancement to organize the memory such that it can minimize the access time. So here, why we are considering this memory hierarchy? So why we are discussing all those things? I already said you that in addition to main memory, we need to provide some additional memories for providing, for doing the tasks better. So that is that we are giving some secondary storage. We are having for speeding up the process or for fastly executing the programs. Internally, we are providing some small memory organizations such as cache memories, etc. So here, for minimizing the access time, so what the data or instructions that you want to access from the data, to minimize that access time. So here we are providing many memory organizations, many memory elements or many memory components in our system. Now in terms of various factors, how these memories are organized or how these memories are hierarchically represented, that we are going to know in case of this memory hierarchy. Now here the memory hierarchy was developed based on a behavior known as locality of reference. So here what is locality of reference? Locality of reference is nothing but the portions of the program so which are to be repeatedly executed. Suppose for example, if you are taking a program contains a while loop, that while loop, inside of that while loop we are having 5 instructions. So here this while loop, here we are giving a condition for the while loop such that it should be executed for 10 times. So all these 5 instructions what are present in the while loop, they are going to be executed repeatedly for 10 times. So these portions of the program are to be called as active portions and locality of reference. So here every time these 5 instructions, in the first iteration, if I want to execute these 5 instructions should be fetched from the memory. In the second time, in the second iteration, if I want to fetch the instructions, again these should be fetched from the memory. Okay, so these portions which are repeatedly fetched from memory are to be called as active portions of the program. So based on those locality of references or active portions, we are going to write the memory hierarchy. So coming to this diagram, which indicates the hierarchical representation of memory. So how a memory hierarchy is represented. So let us see. So here what are various memories that we represented. So here we are representing in 5 levels, all the memories in 5 levels. In level 0 we have CPU registers. In level 1 we have cache memory. In level 2 we have main memory, and in level 3 we have magnetic disks. In level 4 we have optical disc and magnetic tape. So here we represented all the levels or all the memory hierarchy in 4 levels. In level 0 we have registers, CPU registers. In level 1 we have cache memory. In level 2 we have main memory. In level 3 we have magnetic disk. And in level 4 we have optical disc and magnetic tape. Now what about their hierarchy? So in which terms we are going to define their hierarchy? So here we are taking 3 factors for defining the hierarchy. One is cost per bit. So one factor that we are considering is cost per bit, and another factor that we are considering is capacity, that is storage capacity, and another factor that we are considering is access time. These 3 factors that we are considering for defining their memory hierarchy. Now let us see, from bottom to top, the cost per bit increases. That is, these memory devices will be available with lower cost. With lower cost or with lower price, we can purchase these memory devices which are nothing but secondary storage devices. And coming to main memory, this is somewhat costlier when compared to that of the secondary storage devices. So when coming to cache memory, it is more costlier than main memory. So if you go for the registers, these are costliest memory units. So in terms of cost, in the hierarchical diagram, the cost increases from bottom to top. And coming to capacity, so here the secondary storage devices are having larger capacity when compared to that of the registers. Registers can hold, based on the size of registers, they can hold either 8 bits or 16 bits or 32 bits like that. But for coming to cache memory, main memory, these are having number of locations. Each location can hold either 16 bits or 13 bits, etc. So, and coming to external storage devices or secondary storage devices, these are very larger when compared to that of main memory and cache memory. So, coming to the capacity increases, that is the size of memory increases from top to bottom. So, these are having less size and these are having high in size. And coming to access time also, we can fastly access the data which is present in registers. After that, cache memory and main memory, we can access the data from cache memory fastly when compared to that of the main memory. So we can access the data fastly from main memory when compared to that of the secondary storage devices. That is, the access time is also increases from top to bottom. So that is, I hope that you are understood and which here what the factors that we are considering for the representation of hierarchy of various memory devices and how they are present. Now here we are considering 3 factors. One is cost, second one is capacity, and third one is access time. Coming to cost, the cost increases from bottom to top. That is, secondary storage devices are less costlier and CPU registers are more costlier. And coming to the capacity increases from top to bottom. And also the access time. The access time is also increases from top to bottom. So, right. I hope that you all understood the hierarchy of all these memory units. Now let us see. This memory hierarchy design is divided into 2 main types. So entirely what the memory hierarchy that we explained till now, it is divided into 2 main types. What are those 2 main types? First one is external memory or secondary memory, internal memory or primary memory. So here we have this organization is divided into 2 main types. What are those 2 types? External memory or secondary memory, internal memory or primary memory. So coming to the level 3 and level 4, coming to level 3 and level 4, what the storage devices that we represented in level 3 and level 4, these comes under external memory or secondary memory. Coming to the level 0 to level 1, all the storage devices that we represented, these comes under primary domain. So that is magnetic disk, optical disk and magnetic tape. This comes under secondary memory devices, CPU registers, cache memory and main memory. These comes under primary memory, that is internal storage devices. Now, we explained the hierarchy based on various factors. Now I am going to elaborate on those factors. The first factor is capacity. Capacity is nothing but the volume of information that we can store in those memory devices. That capacity increases from top to bottom. Coming to access time. What is access time? It is the time interval between the read and write request and the availability of the data. So first we request the memory device to read the data or to write the data. From that request time to the availability of data, what the time interval takes, that is to be called as access time. This access time is also increases from top to bottom. And the third one is performance. So here, if you consider the performance, the CPU registers are very speed. The CPU registers are very speed when compared to the secondary storage devices. Even they can store more data, but we cannot access data or instructions fastly when compared to the CPU registers. And coming to cost per bit, the CPU registers are costlier when compared to the cache memory. Cache memory is costlier when compared to the main memory. Main memory is costlier when compared to the secondary storage units. Here, the cost per bit increases from bottom to top. I hope that you all understood the memory hierarchy. So I am going to revise the concepts what we explained in this concept. In this concept, we discussed about what is memory, what is the purpose of memory, what are the various types of memories that we are considering, and what about the hierarchy of all these memories. For the representation of that hierarchy, what the various factors that we are considering, and what about those factors? So what the details of those factors, how they are behaving from bottom to top or from top to bottom. Those things that we discussed in this memory hierarchy. So here to assess yourself, I given a question. Please answer this question. The question is, explain memory hierarchy in detail with a neat diagram. In the preparation of this presentation, I used the digital content from various public sources. It is used only for educational purpose and not for the commercial